facilities having lunch provided for them, they have somewhere to come to, and then they'll have their lunch provided to them.
The response for the parents, it's been well received. The parents are happy that we're providing a lunch program for the children.
Digo que es muy bueno. Es muy bueno porque a veces en los hogares creo que hay limitaciones ahorita que están de vacaciones todos los niños.
For the children, this might be the only meal that they receive during the day. So it's very important that we take part in that. And the Department of Recreation and Parks wants to make sure that our children are fed in our community and anyone who visits the park.
Y la verdad, cuando son 3, 4 niños es demasiada comida y aquí es la oportunidad para que tomen un lunch.
This means a lot. They get to go swimming every day. We have that on the roster every day. So it's exciting to see these children, you know, the joy on their face, or the parents saying that they don't have to come out of pocket to pay for these additional amenities that the city provides.
Always, everybody is welcome to come in. Even if you don't live in this community, if you come around our area, you are always welcome. We always try to make Harvard Park have a family feel. We do it as staff, as co-workers together, and then we try to do it with the community members as well.
Learn the basic fundamentals of Argentine tango, participate in a teen summer dance intensive, or enjoy summer evenings at LA Zoo's Friday nights. All this up next on Things to Do.
The Los Angeles Public Library wants to help you learn the basics of Argentine tango. This free program explores the essence of the dance. Argentine tango was first developed in the working-class neighborhoods of Buenos Aires in the 18th century. This engaging, educational, creative, fun workshop is designed especially for the dance novice. While practicing fundamental steps and patterns, participants will also discover the life lessons that can be learned through tango. No partners required. First-timers are welcome and encouraged to join. Learn Argentine Tango Basics Thursday, July 6th, starting at 3:30 p.m. at the Harbor Gateway Branch Library. Log on to lapl.org/events for more information. The Los Angeles Department of Cultural Affairs is offering a free teen summer dance intensive designed for middle and high school youth. Learn the discipline and stamina needed to seek a career in concert dance. Both male and female dancers will participate daily in multiple technique classes of varied styles. Afternoons will be spent learning original choreography in ballet, modern, world dance, and hip-hop. This intensive will culminate in a performance showcasing the individual talent of each participant. The Summer Dance Intensive happens July 10th through the 21st. Participants must be registered by July 7th. Log on to facebook.com/Madrid Theater and eventbrite.com for more information. Summer evenings are the perfect time to explore the zoo when the animals are most active. Be sure to get in on this limited time opportunity at Zoo Friday nights, where you can see what your favorite animals get up to during the twilight hours. After touring the zoo, you can enjoy musical performances and live DJs, a family dance party, games, and interactive education stations at no additional charge. Plenty of food trucks will be on hand, from savory main courses to delicious desserts. Get in on all the fun with less sun at Zoo Friday nights, each Friday through August 18th. The kickoff event happens Friday, July 7th from 6 to 9 p.m. Log on to lazoo.org for more information. And that's a look at some things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I'm Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitywiew.org, and we're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
We're always encouraged to be creative and try to implement new ideas.
Helping supply water to almost 4 million people every day is kind of a big deal.
Taking recycled water and using it to revive dead landscaped areas.
We're investing in local water supplies and completely transforming the system William Mulholland designed over a century ago today.
You're working with the best talent that are receptive to new ideas.
We think outside the box. We've done shade balls that LADWP came up with, and that's been in the news all over the world because of our innovation.
We're working with the latest technology in terms of wind turbines and smart integration with solar panels to integrate more renewables efficiently onto the grid.
It's exciting to be producing something that I know is vital.
We're creating a clean energy future for Los Angeles.
The next 15 years is going to have more advancement and more technology come out for the power system than the previous 100.
I want to make a difference. I want to make sure LA is one of the greatest cities in the world.
Come be a part of LADWP.
Puede suceder en solo segundos. El ahogamiento se puede prevenir.
La ciudad de Los Ángeles tiene varios programas para enseñar la natación a nuestros niños.
Cuando hay niños en el agua, nunca les podemos quitar la vista de encima.
Y es un inconveniente que evitará tragedias y salvará vidas en el futuro.
You're arriving at Los Angeles International Airport in beautiful Southern California. One of the first things you will see as you are landing is the ever-iconic LAX theme building. The LAX theme building is a modern icon and recognized worldwide as the space-age landmark of one of the world's youngest and most influential cities. Designed by architectural firm Piera and Luckman, the building was completed in 1961 and features an observation deck and the Bob Hope USO. The spider-like appearance of the building is a playful and futuristic design illusion, created by topping 4 steel reinforced concrete legs with stucco. The building received cultural historic status from the city of Los Angeles for its distinguishing characteristics, which are valuable to the study of that period's style and method of construction. It is also an example of mid-century modern Googie architecture. The LAX theme building serves as the symbolic gateway to Los Angeles, and the futuristic design is intended to convey new prosperity and the embrace of technological innovation. It has been and continues to be a constant reminder of Los Angeles' drive to be the city of tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this meeting of your Los Angeles City Council. Today is Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. I'm Paul Krikorian, President of the City Council, and we're ready to begin today's meeting. Public comment will be taken today both in person in the Council chamber and via teleconference for today's meeting. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield, De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez, Hutt, Krikorian, Lee, McCosker, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
Very good. First order of business, please.
Approval of the minutes of June 30th, 2023.
Councilmember Hernandez moves. Councilmember Blumenfield seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Rodriguez moves. Councilmember Park seconds. Next. Let's run through the agenda, please.
Mr. President, would Council like all items to go forthwith today?
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Items 1 through 4 are items noticed for public hearing. Items 5 through 39 are items which public hearings have been held. Items 40 through 67 are items which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Thank you. Without objection, members, those items are now before us. Do members have any items that you would like to call special among those? Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Without objection, I would like to call the following items special for a separate vote as a block, please. 5, 6, 7, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 23, 25, 26. One more time, I would like to call the following items special for a separate vote as a block. 5, 6, 7, 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 23, 25, 26. I would also like to continue item 50 to August 8th. And I would just, very briefly, if I could just comment really quickly.
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to request that item 50 be continued to August 8th, and I'd like to explain why briefly. Over the last 6 months, my team has identified various needs across the district that require various levels of funding. As we neared the end of the fiscal year, we realized that year after year, over the last 3 years, this particular pot of money has been transferred to fund different CD1 projects. And so we thought that we would try to do the same in order to meet the current needs of our district. My team has met with the Walas Memorias, and we've agreed to continue this item in order to discuss what are the greatest needs in CD1 and how we can best make use of these funds. Thank you, everyone who came here today to speak on this item. Look forward to hearing from you all. But we're just learning, so just wanted to tap that in. Thank you.
Very good. So without objection, that will be continued to August 8th, did you say, Councilmember? Okay. And then the other items, Madam Clerk, I think if they aren't called special for any other reasons, can we take those up as a block and vote on them collectively?
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. For item 52, I'd like to move that we adopt the CAO report.
Very good. Is there a second? I'll second that. Councilmember Yaroslavsky. Oh, okay. So, members, I'm going to explain something. Wait. So, as you know, the seats have been moved a little bit, which means that we may have some glitchy things when it comes to my cue. So, if you could raise your hand, so I would know, that would be helpful. Councilmember Soto Martinez, followed by Councilmember Rahman.
For the record, you did not call Councilmember Rodriguez Soto Martinez, so it's noted.
He called me.
Oh.
Because I'm Rodriguez.
Okay. Anyways, I'd like to call item 67 for an amendment and also for comments when the vote comes up, Council President.
Did you catch that, Madam Clerk?
Yes,
say it again,
sir. 67 is an amendment that the city attorney will read out, and after the city attorney reads out the amendment, there needs to be a second.
Okay, if we could ask for the amendment to be read, please.
Says that I move that item 67 be amended to include the following additional instruction. Number 3, instruct the general manager of the BOE or designee to include language in the grant application to identify opportunities for improving bicycle infrastructure and or improving transit accessibility for the Highland Avenue project between Santa Monica Boulevard and Franklin Avenue.
Thank you. And is there a seconder? Councilmember Park seconds. Thank you. All right. Councilmember Rahman, you wanted to be heard?
Yeah, could I call item 15 for a separate vote?
Very good. Councilmember De Leon, did you want to be heard?
Yes, Mr. President. One question and just one commentary. I think a lot of folks are wondering if these tap cards are in fact loaded or not.
I'll come back to that in a moment. But the short answer is no.
No, okay, there we go. There we go.
But did you have an
yes,
item called special?
Mr. President, as well as colleagues, I would like to just take a quick minute to recognize special guest with us today. We have representatives of Que Buena FM, that is 105.5 and 94.3 FM. And Que Buena, for folks who don't know, and I know there's a lot of folks in the audience who do know, was recently voted as the #1 station for regional Mexican music, not in Los Angeles, not in California, not in the western part of the United States, but the entire United States of America. And if you remember Grupo Firme, who was here, Peso Pluma, for those who know Peso Pluma, this is the music that they play, regional music. I know it seems like our new incoming council member is a fan also too of this music, as well as other folks around this horseshoe. The station's success is evident through its 6 #1 total market wins for morning, midday, and prime time, solidifying its national ranking. Because we will be in recess after today, colleagues, I wanted to note that the Los Angeles City Council will be recognizing this Friday, July 7th, 2023, as Que Buena in Los Angeles for their dedication to showcasing and promoting regional Mexican music, a genre that is deeply rooted in our own city's culture, but more importantly, for their commitment to active support for communities throughout Southern California and Los Angeles. Mr. President, as well as colleagues, with us today is Said Garcia Solis, Miguel Parra, AJ Juarez, or Al Juarez, Claudia Santana, Hannah Bolt, as well as Miguel del Torre. So to everyone at Que Buena Los Angeles and to its parent company, Estrella Media, we want to congratulate you for being #1 in the nation, and thank you. And your DJs, your staff who embody the lifestyle associated with regional Mexican music, and for fostering a very strong connection with our community throughout the great city of Los Angeles. Felicidades. Gracias a ustedes. Thank you, Mr. President.
Bienvenidos a todos. Going back now to items to call special. Members, if you could please, again, raise your hand if you'd like to call anything special. Councilmember Lee.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can I call item #1 for an amendment? And I believe the city attorney has the amendment.
Okay, can we go ahead and read
51,
the amendment, please?
Sorry, 51.
On 51.
51.
So the amendment reads, I move that item 51 be amended to replace the recommendation 1 with the following. #1, transfer and appropriate $180,000 in the Council District 12 portion of the Neighborhood Service Enhancements line item, General City Purposes, Fund Number 100/56 to the Public Works Fund Number 100/74, Account 3040, Contractual Services, for graffiti and weed abatement services in Council District 12, coordinated by the West Valley Alliance.
And is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Blumenfield. Thank you. All right. Any other specials, members? Any specials on the left? Any specials on the right? I'd like to call item 30 special for the purpose just of holding it on the desk for the moment. Any other specials? All right. Seeing none, Madam Clerk, what is available for us to vote on at this point?
Mr. President, Council may now vote on items 8, 10 through 12, 17, 19 through 22, 24, 27 through 29, 31 through 39, sir.
Very good. Those items are now before us, members. If there are no members wishing to be heard, let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
10 ayes.
All right. That will bring us next. I'm going to take up item 57. And because we're going to take up item 57 separately, what I'd like to do is go ahead and call for public comment on that item before we begin our discussion. So we have three. Well, go ahead. Let's go ahead, Madam Clerk and Mr. City Attorney, and go ahead and read in the instructions.
Yes, sir. As indicated on the agenda, members wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466. Then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute. Again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466. Press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute.
To members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you would like to speak on. You have 1 minute per item to speak, up to 3 minutes total, and 1 minute for general public comment. Speak to the items before beginning general public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not speaking on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are speaking on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the President. If you do not immediately get clearly on topic or again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items that are open for public comment are 1 through 4 and 40 through 67. For members of the public calling in to speak, when it is your turn, an automated message from Zoom will prompt you to press *6 to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt you once more. If you do not immediately unmute yourself when it prompted by staff, you will forfeit the rest of your time and we will move on to the next speaker. If you are listening to the council meeting on your computer, channel 35, or another device, please turn down the volume on those devices immediately when it is your turn to speak. Because of a feedback and a time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, it will cause a lot of confusion if you continue to listen on those devices. Finally, for callers, please remember to keep an ear to the phone so that you know when it is your turn to speak. Thank you.
All right, very good. With that, we're going to take those speakers who have signed up on item 57 only at this point. So I'm going to call out their names, and if you could make your way over to the left-hand side, Rob Kwan, Herman, and Stacy Segar Bollinger, please. And this will be 1 minute on the item only.
Good morning. You have 1 minute for item 57.
Got it, sir. Thank you. To all the simplify faggot motherfuckers, this is about the motion for the relative appointment of a new 666 holder in the office of Council District 6. And we're gone through this for months. We drug it on. That fat cunt bitch, Nuri Martinez, fucked it up for all you criminals. But thanks to Kevin DeLion, we're here to protest and promote this issue for the new and current standing new chair of the 6th District, Miss Imelda Padilla. Step on down. You are the next contestant, bitches, to join the fan club here at City Hall. And let us turn things around, clean our streets, remove graffiti, and make this fucking nation understand we need more bitches that got good cunts to run this city, not like that other fat fucking bitch, big old fat hippopotamus, rhinoceros.
You're off topic. Get on topic or your time is done.
So the appointment for Ms. Padilla in Council District 6, section of the Charter, 409B, fuck the dictator.
Thank you. Your time has expired. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. You have 1 minute for item 57.
Thank you, and congratulations, Councilmember Padilla. I was not a fan of your opponent, but it was clear during the campaign that you really had a connection with your district and understanding of it. Some advice: don't engage in a racist conspiracy to disenfranchise Angelenos. Do your homework. Within a few months of Councilmember De Leon being in office, we all realized he wouldn't be mayor when he was a lightweight. I'm not a huge fan of Tracy Park, but she really does do her homework in all of the committees she's in, and I think that's extremely transparent. Your voice matters, your vote matters, but only if you listen. All too often, Nuri Martinez presumed she was speaking for her community. On the Fed tapes, she projected she was fighting for her district and her people, quote unquote, but in reality, she was just fighting for her power. Don't hold any grudges. There's no reason to obsess over who did and didn't support you in your candidacy. There are some people around here who their guiding star is trolling those who didn't back them in their run years ago.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. You have 1 minute for item 57.
Thank you. So today we are acknowledging the results of an election. While I don't really agree with District 6 vote for basically Nuri 2.0, I do appreciate the democratic process, and I'm just curious as to why the 10th district didn't get that same opportunity. We had a lot of insiders and people who were closely involved with the leaked audio pulling for the council member in the 10th district appointment. Then we had an election in CD6, coincidentally also very friendly with all of those people. So cool, good on the democracy, but I'm wondering why President Krikorian feels so obliged to pick and choose who he lets vote.
All right. Thank you. That will close public comment on this item. So with that, members, item 57 is before us. This is the motion to appoint Imelda Padilla as the temporary voting member of this council. So does anybody wish to be heard before we vote on this item? Very good. Well then, on this item, on the appointment of Imelda, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you so much, Councilmember. Thank you so much, Councilmember Rodriguez and Council President and Council President Pro Tem on bringing Imelda to start taking care of this district sooner than later. I've known Imelda for many years, and you know, she got here. She's one of the hardest working people that I know. And so it's not, what you did was not easy. You did that yourself, and I'm just incredibly proud of you, and then really excited that you're joining this space to see how we move forward, you know, in a better direction for all of our districts in the entire city. But just want to welcome you. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome ride.
All right. So the Councilmember Rodriguez?
Since I got the nod, thank you, Ms. Hernandez, and of course I want to welcome the Padilla family here this morning in council chambers to witness what is a very special privilege. You know, in the history of the city of Los Angeles, and I remember my friend Greg Smith reminding us about how few people have an opportunity to sit around this horseshoe. When you think about the history of the city of Los Angeles, it's only been roughly 400 some odd people that have ever had the privilege of serving in this role. And so when I think about what Imelda represents as an example, Senora Padilla, of you and your husband and your family's work ethic and sacrifice, everything that you represent is who our community is. And Imelda is going to be bringing that passion, that history, and that connectedness of service and that meaningful, you know, it's unfortunate that Veronica isn't here, but no surprise that she's not here because she's out there doing the work in the community, just as she was raised, just as this whole family has emulated by their acts of service. And so today is a very special day where we not only honored democracy in this process and the right candidate won, but we will be honoring what this community is deserving of. And that is a representative that knows who they are, that is a piece of who they are, and will bring that heart every single day to that job, to this job and this role. And so with that, Imelda, it is just an incredible honor to welcome you, to finally have another partner back in fighting for the Northeast San Fernando Valley. Congratulations to you and welcome.
All right, thank you, members. With that, item 57 is now before us, the appointment of Imelda Padilla to be the temporary voting council member for the 6th Council District. Madam Clerk, please open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
10 eyes.
Congratulations, Council Member Padilla. And I would like to now ask our city clerk, Holly Walcott, to please come forward and administer the oath of office to Councilmember Padilla. And actually, before, or as Ms. Walcott is coming forward, members, I'd like to send this item urgent forthwith, and we will need to vote on that as well. So if we can go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
11 eyes.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to ask Ms. Walcott now to administer the oath, and when that process is completed, Councilmember Padilla, I will give you the floor to make any remarks you'd like to make. Ms. Walcott. All right. Councilmember Padilla, I'm sorry. I'm afraid we don't have a sign made up for you yet, but if you'd like to take your seat in the horseshoe next to Councilmember Park, welcome to the Los Angeles City Council. And Councilmember Padilla, if you could go ahead and take your seat, and I'd like to offer you the floor if there's any comments you'd like to make. And you'll need to stand and speak into the mic.
Well, I want to start by thanking the council for the 4 members who put this on the agenda, and for the full council for voting this in today. I appreciate it, and I also appreciate it on behalf of all of the constituents of the 6th District. As mentioned, the 6th District is ready to have a voting member, to have someone advocate for things. And I also want to, of course, give a special thank you to my family for everything that they've ever done for me over the years, from my siblings that are here to the ones that are also not here, for my mom, for raising us the way that she raised us. Not surprised that work ethic seems to be the theme that people are bringing up to explain a little bit about our background and the sort of leaders and community stakeholders that we are. But, in addition to that, I also want to apologize to my nieces that they had to hear such language sometimes. And at the same time, I just want to let everybody know, please feel welcome to call me Councilmember Imelda as the way to address me.
Well,
Thank you all
welcome
so
to the
much.
team. We're proud to have you here as our colleague. Congratulations again.
Let's get to work.
All right. Let's get to work. Madam Clerk, what is the next item before us? Public comment? All right, we can go next to public comment. So we'll begin with those speakers who've signed up here in the council chambers. I will tell you now, we probably have more speakers than I will be able to get to, but we'll try to move expeditiously through as many as we can. So I'm going to call out a few names, and as I call your name, please make your way to your left-hand side so that the sergeants can direct you to the podium. Dr. Critical Truth Bey, Diamond Landon, Mohammed Javad Janush Palangi, Nikita Walker, Socorro Lambert, Betty Toto, and Sofia Quinones. If I called your name, come on up and be ready to speak, please. It doesn't need to be in that order. If you're on the left-hand side, the sergeants can guide you up to the podium. We need a speaker. We need a speaker. Just come on up. Good morning.
Con el permiso de mis santos pasados, pido la palabra. Congratulations, Ms. Padilla. My name is Sofia Quinones. I'm with the East LA Boyle Heights Coalition, and I came to speak about 2 items. One, the Historical Preservation Act of 106. Kevin De Leon promised to do new renderings that deal with a glorieta that wants to obliterate our sacred space at Cinco Puntos. Also under 106, today we are filing appeal because another sacred space of ours is being impacted, and that is the Wall Las Memorias and Plaza de la Raza. They're trying to build a 184-unit luxury complex across the street from Lincoln Park. And finally, I also came today because since the wall was being targeted over at Lincoln Park, I understood that there was going to be funds taken from an organization that has saved lives. So I wanted to stand in solidarity with Richard Saldivar and those from the Wall Las Memorias. Gracias. I hope
Thank you.
Mr. De Leon follows up on his promise to meet with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. I called about 8 names. I need speakers to come on up, please.
You don't have a Farsi translator, and this man wants to speak. You understand? So tell your officers.
Just come on up and speak. It's your turn to speak. Come onto the podium and speak. I'm sorry, that's not your concern. Go
Exactly.
ahead
I
and
brought
speak.
him here. That's
Okay.
my concern. So you
Well,
don't have
go
a
ahead.
Farsi translator.
Starter time. What items
Only
are you speaking
Spanish.
on, Dr.
Which items
Tuesday?
would you like to speak on?
What items do you think? All available items in public comment.
So the items that are open for public comment are 1 through 4, 40 through 56, and 58 through 67. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
You have a lot of transfer of funds here that's not available for public comment. Is that correct?
Correct.
I wonder why. 35 transfer of funds for grants, and you don't have no available time to speak on it. Amazing. 50. Okay, so we have, no, let me start off with 48. They already called you, so come on up. Okay, Harris, Dawson, and Hernandez for Gemont Rollins Group, the same Rollins Group who's your consulting firm concerning the community development grant. $75,000 we requested for. And of course, Marquise Harris Dawson had to escape. Alexander Fran Gemont, Ebony Baptiste, James Hull, Denise Jackson, and Alexander. You guys have to have funding for homeless outreach and engagement. Do you hear what I'm saying, Bellum Lamas, in your nice yellow jacket? Homeless outreach and engagement. There's nothing funny about that for District 8. When you don't have the funding from the 16 million Reimagine funds for housing and engagement. Black families are still suffering, and you find that hilarious. There's nothing funny about that. So you're going to give them another $250,000 to consult what? To do what? So when you guys are not doing the outreach work and you don't fund the applications that are turned into you, then tell me, what position do you think you have left? Shameful. So I'm going to say, run us out $75,000. You understand? Because Mark Riley Thomas learned the hard way when he messed with our organizations. That's doing the work. Secondly, outreach and engagement. General purpose funds. You have $500,000 for the city clerk to make a transfer, yet you don't have what the transfer is for. You don't have the amount, you don't have the names of who the transfer is for. Another allocation of funding disappear into thin air. The Los Angeles City Council, I'm telling you right now, you are on edge. And as half of you left the room while we speak, it says a lot. The state and the federal government does not know the atrociousness of how you treat your constituents. So keep having your interns walk around with their short little mini skirts, tossing their long hair, and not know a goddamn thing about politics. Keep on. Keep on. Because at the end of the day, God is going to have this last word. Public comment. Muhammad is one of many immigrants that came to Skid Row that had nowhere to go. Resources, not only for homeless, for California citizens, but the sanctuary city that you created has created a plethora of immigrants to come here, and they need the same resources. Because you don't have a Farsi translator, he needs housing. He needs his papers, green card, all of that stuff. So make these translators available while your goofy ass staff members are standing behind you, again, not paying attention. Not paying attention. So after a while, I'm telling you, this public comment means absolutely nothing, but I promise you, there are works behind the scene that's going to make sure that you're going to be held accountable. So Marquise Harris Dawson has one more time to run us our money, or else he's going to have the same jumpsuit as Mark Riley Thomas. Do you hear what I'm saying while you sipping your goddamn Starbucks?
Next speaker, please.
Mr. Herman, we've noticed that your gestures are distracting not only the people around this horseshoe, but also the people behind you. So please keep your hand gestures to a minimum. Thank you.
Ms.
Good morning.
Cigar Bollinger, stop shouting out. You know the rules. Don't disrupt this meeting. Next speaker, please.
Hi, Betty Fay Toto. Thank you, I'm short. On item 50 and then general comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment.
Great, thanks. I just want to, I hope that I'm not seeing a trend here because it's kind of coming more clear. And as a mother of a woman that identifies as LGBTQ+, as a mother-in-law of a person in transition, I'm seeing it across our country, I'm seeing it across our state, and I hope that in our city, we don't continue this trend of marginalizing those that are already marginalized. I'm glad that Ulysses decided to continue this right now because, you know, and that she can learn and study more, but I really hope that in the future she does that before she actually tries to grab back money from the most vulnerable of the most vulnerable people that are fighting for their health, they're fighting for their lives in our community. And
General public comment?
Yes, and continuing, I hope not with this trend that I'm seeing here, and I hope it is not a trend against the LGBT community, is that I hope that she really takes a strong look and a reconsideration on the Morris Kite House on 4th Street. This house is a historical place for the LGBT community, and where we are getting attacked even from SCOTUS. We need to uphold these histories. We cannot shovel them and sweep them under the rug. So the 4th Street house is very important to not Los Angeles as a community as a whole, but the LGBTQ+ community. And I just hope that she reconsiders her views on this. I just hope this is not a trend. I really do hope this is not a trend here within our city and within our state. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Okay, I'm going to call out a few more names. Armando Munoz, Cesar Zaldivar Motz, Daisy Cuellar, Eddie Martinez, and Rob Kwan, please. Good morning.
Good morning, council members. My name is Cesar Salivar Mats. I'm with New Start Housing Corporation, here to support the wall, Las Memorias. We partnered with them to combat the fentanyl crisis that we have here in Los Angeles County by educating our community and providing valuable information and fentanyl Narcan kits throughout the southeast area and throughout LA City. And it's very important that we continue to support this organization. Councilwoman Hernandez, please learn about their services that they provide. It's very valuable, and we encourage you to continue to support them, work with them. They've been here for many, many decades. And it's not a fly-by-night organization. They have a long history and do great work. So if you could please reconsider any transfer of funds. Once you make a commitment for these type of works, we cannot go back and withdraw that commitment. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, for all those who may wish to speak on that item, we have continued it until August 8th. But of course, you're welcome to speak about it. Just know that you'll have that other opportunity as well. Sir. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Eddie Martinez. I'm the Executive Director of Latino Equality Alliance. I'm also council member of the city of Huntington Park, so hello, colleagues. I'm here in support of the Wall Las Memorias project. That organization has been doing amazing work for almost 3 decades in preventing HIV and AIDS, substance abuse, and also dealing with mental health issues. I had the wonderful opportunity to work for them for 18 years in my nonprofit career. So I know that item number 50 has been continued, but I ask that Councilmember Hernandez please work with the Wall Las Memorias to see how we could address issues that are impacting our community, and I'm just here in support of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
This is Jaron Comet. Good morning, council members. My name is Armando Munoz. I'm an airport worker. I'm also a proud member of SCIU, local USWW. As you guys know, LA already has the highest number of unhoused people in the nation, and it's unacceptable that workers who are the backbone of a major economic engine are disproportionately rent burdened. We look forward to having a report back when the council members return from recess, so an ordinance can be drafted and passed as soon as possible. Workers need wages that will keep up with the soaring cost of housing as soon as possible. The quicker this passes, our communities will benefit from it. In the meantime, we'll continue talking to our members, neighbors about this and standing with workers in solidarity. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm speaking on general public comment. My name is Renee Guerrero de Leon, and I am an organizer with the Southern California Coalition for Occupational Safety and Health. Our organization is founded on the principle that all workplace deaths and injuries are preventable. And we've joined the Tourism Workers Rising Coalition because we do firmly believe in providing the best possible training for hotel and airport workers. Keeping our workers healthy and safe while on the job is something that should be implemented and priority across the board. It is unfair and unjust that for our tourism workers to feel unsafe while on the job, and that is why the public housekeeper training is vital for employers to do this as a part of the proposed ordinance. SoCal COSH sees the intersection between livable wages and adequate training as pillars in building strong, healthy, and safe communities. We look forward to having a report back when the council returns from recess, so an ordinance can be drafted and passed as soon as possible. In the meantime, we'll continue talking about this within our communities, and most importantly, standing with workers in solidarity. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. And as that speaker's coming up, I'm going to call a few more names. Ezra Golub, Father Richard Estrada, Gilmar Perdomo, and Ian Jameson, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Daisy Cuellar, and I'm making public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. Today, I'm going to do one of our community agreements at EPIC, and that's Speaking from the Heart. There was a lot of celebrations today. There was a lot of moments of joy amongst families. And today, I stand with workers that are keeping our hotels and welcoming people from all over the world and all over LA. I also have a mother who works at a hotel. I have a friend who works at a hotel. I have family members. And today I ask that not only do you think about the funds, but you think about the opportunity that it will bring community members. We are tired of being asked to be resilient. We are tired of being asked to be resourceful. We want to be creative. We want to play. We want the choice to choose where we live, to choose where we play, to choose where we travel.
Thank you. Your time has expired.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name
Good
that
morning.
you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Father Richard Estrada.
I'm a civil rights leader and associate pastor of the Church of the Epiphany in Lincoln Heights community in Council District 1. As a member of the Community Advisory Board for Project Faith for the Wall Las Memorias, I ask you to vote no on this motion and ask the City Council to keep the commitment of funding the wall for the Wall Las Memorias. When the attack of Pulse nightclub in Florida happened, the Wall Las Memorias and our church hosted an interdenominational prayer service for those who died from the shooting. This organization brought together leaders from the Catholic faith, Baptist faith, Muslim, and Baptist to pray to end the violence against the gay
Thank you, Speaker.
community.
Thank you very much, Father. Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. Please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yeah, hello. My name is Gilmar Perdomo. I am speaking on item number 50 on public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment.
All right, Councilmember Hernandez, thank you so much for deferring item number 50. I am a senior program manager at the Wall Las Memorias. I oversee all the programs that we do at the Wall. This funding will certainly help us enhance all of our programs throughout the year and the years to come. So I really appreciate that we are taking the time to speak. I know that we haven't had the time to speak with you or your staff members, but we certainly hope that we can, and we can find a way that this funding can continue, because we really do appreciate City Council supporting us in this way. I just want to give a little background on the Wall Las Memorias. We are a nonprofit that supports LGBTQ communities in the Northeast, East, and South LA, Southeast LA as well. We provide HIV testing. Since January, we've done 1,100 tests, and yep.
General public comment?
General public comment, okay. Again, the Wall Las Memorias is a great advocate of supporting LGBTQ communities, and we definitely support families as well as people suffering from substance use disorders, and youth, trying to prevent youth from getting that. So really appreciate City Council voting no when this comes up. We want the funding, and we certainly hope that we can get your support. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
sir.
Speaker-
Can you repeat your name, please?
Gilmar Perdomo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning. General public comment, please.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Prior to Gina Silva's broadcast last week on Mike McMahon, I didn't even know that he had saved 2 people from jumping to their deaths. You guys fired a cop who saved 2 people's lives because he refused to take a vaccine, which did not prevent infection or transmission. I really wish you guys could just all get on an ice floe and cast yourselves adrift from decent society, you authoritarian sociopaths. End the fucking mandate.
Okay, I'm gonna call out a few more names. Jasmine Tobar, Jessica Lasso, Jesus Lahia, and John Mechaca, please. And also Richard Saldivar. Good morning.
Good morning, Jasmine Tovar, General Public Comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Thank you. My name is Jasmine Tovar. I am the Program Director at the Salvadoran American Leadership Educational Fund. I'm here in support of the Walls and Memorias to ensure that they get all types of services and funding, very similar to us. We also lost funding from Councilmember Hernandez, and we're asking her to continue to support her constituents and her community. We are a small org, very similar to the Walls, and we continue serving her constituents, and we ask her to honor the funding and I remind her and everyone that that funding is the people's money, it's tax, and it is our duty to ensure that that funding goes directly to organizations that are working with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning. It's public comment for item 50.
So, for item 50, you have 1 minute, and general public comment, you have, or item 50, 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Jessica Rodriguez Lasso. I am a staff member from the WA Las Memorias. I'm an active organizer when it comes to substance use prevention. I wanted to share a little bit about the work that we do at the WA Las Memorias. I think it's very important that everybody is aware of some of the work that we do when it comes to substance use prevention. In the last 2 months, we have held 2 town halls that had about more than 500 community members attend. In these town halls, we were able to distribute Narcan to each of these members, and as well as provide them the Narcan itself. Our community, our staff, is well aware of what to do when someone is having an overdose. Our offices are known to carry Narcan and provide them to our staff members. We know the importance of Narcan, and when it comes to substance use prevention, it is important that we are refunded for some of the work that we do. With the funds that would be provided to us, we can provide more support when it comes to substance use prevention. Some of the things that we would like to work on is providing this to the community members, and we're talking about teachers, youth, parents that are coming to these town halls. We're providing these services not only in English, but in Spanish as well. We're engaging the community when some of the council members have engaged with the community. So our goal is really to build these relationships up. Furthermore, make sure that we're providing Narcan and substance use prevention, making sure that we're addressing the fentanyl, the meth, and the opioid epidemic that is happening in our community. We service SPA 7 and SPA 4. These are large areas where it's Spanish speakers, immigrants that we're serving, and so it's important to continue this work, especially when our community is being highly impacted by the substance use discontrol that is happening in our communities. I'd like to thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And before we take our next speaker, we have the amendment on item 30. I'd like to ask the city attorney to go ahead and read that amendment in, please. 1 moment, please, sir.
Says that I move that the matter of the transfer of funds relative to the 17th report regarding COVID-19 homelessness roadmap funding recommendations, item number 30, be amended to reappropriate $11,432,218.13 in the General City Purpose Fund, number 100-56, account number 000957, Project Room Key, COVID-19 Emergency Response, to provide additional funding for the Project Room Key damages claims as requested by the City Administrative Officer.
And I think that's being seconded by Councilmember Rahman. Councilmember Rahman, second. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you for that. Sir, good morning.
If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning, council members. My name is Jesus Leija, and I'm speaking on item number 50. I'm a community organizer and HIV tester at the WA Las Memorias, and I've been working on the field for the last 20 years. With all my respect, without the funding, it could cause an increase in the widespread HIV infection rate in the Latino and Black community. Without the funding, we are not going to be able to keep offering free HIV testing to our community. Taking away this crucial funding, our programs will not be able to properly function, and consequently, we will not be able to provide the vital support to already impact low-income communities. As a Latino, as an immigrant, as a part of the LGBT community, please urge City Council members to vote no on motion 15. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, I will. My name is Richard Zaldivar. I'm Executive Director of the Wall Las Memorias. Items number 50 and also public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for item 50 that has been continued to August, and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you, Mr. President and members of the council. You know, I've been here many times before as the city of Los Angeles helped construct the nation's only publicly funded AIDS monument in Lincoln Park. That monument is not just for Lincoln Heights or CD1 or CD14, but it's for all of Los Angeles. It's the only monument that is funded by the state of California, the county of Los Angeles, and the city of Los Angeles. That monument provided us an opportunity to engage a community that didn't want to talk about HIV, AIDS, and LGBT issues. You've heard from some of my staff members here today talking about the tremendous services that we provide throughout LA, and specifically in Northeast, Southeast, and South Los Angeles. There's been some confusion about this motion. First, I want to say thank you to the council member Hernandez from Council District 1 for agreeing to delay this vote so we have an opportunity to discuss this. However, I need to say—
General public comment.
I just want to say one more thing. It's really important to know that this money is not coming from Council District 1. This money was approved by you last year in the general fund and approved by the mayor. We were never told that the money was available from either the past administration from CD1 or the current administration from CD1. So I am hopeful that you will take that all into consideration when this matter comes up, and I pray to God that my conversation with the council member will be able to iron that out. I trust in you. I want to say one more thing. With the hate crimes taking place throughout Los Angeles, people being beaten up, trans members being called bad names. This is a wrong time to take money away from the Wall Las Memorias and any HIV, LGBT organization. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning,
morning.
Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, so my name is Diamond Bumbry, and I'm speaking underneath Jermont, or Jamont.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that and just pull the microphone a little closer?
Sorry. My name is Diamond Bumbry, and I'm speaking underneath Jamont Rollins Group.
Okay, you have 1 minute for the item.
Okay. So I'm an actual client here in Los Angeles, and I just came out here. And what I want to speak about is Hopics. That is a homeless, providing, resourcing, well, not for shelters only, but they're supposed to give per diems, help with children, and helping women and children with their self-sufficient self. And right now, I just want to discuss on why none of the funds are being used for the children or for the mothers. Why is none of the things at hand as far as the resources, as far as housing, none of the things are for actual low-income families, and they're just regular rent. None of the things that was said for Los Angeles, for the state, they didn't mention anything about actually paying the full rent. There was supposed to be a percentage, and it never was given. And also, I have a recording of one of the employees from Hopics being aware that she is not. Just wanted to add that she is aware that she is not professional. And I do have like gun incidents, reports, grievances. And I just want to make it aware that nobody, the biggest corporation, like I said, Hopics, is not doing anything for any of these families. And all the things that was promised is being embezzled. So I just wanted to know what is being given and what is being done as far as for housing and what's happening with the housing authority.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
My name is Nikita Walker, and I'm here of Public Counsel. I came to speak upon Jamet Rollings Group. It was some things that I was discussing with others about Veronica Willis, and they were honored a month ago. Why was she on vacation when I'm also homeless and I'm also with Hopix? I was given 90 days, this is my notice, to be out of Hopix. I'm a single mom with an 11-year-old son. I was told that I would be able to get Section 8 or low-income housing, and none of these funds are being properly used. From my understanding, the group, Jamet Rolling Group, it was given $4.2 million. Well, the city is still where it's at. It's redundant. You guys can help. I need for you guys to help us and our families. I don't understand why this money is not being used properly. Well, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good. Thank you. My name is John Menchaca, and I'm here to speak on item 1, which pertains to the Lincoln Heights Business District and really pertains to Ms. Hernandez and Mr. De Leon's district. And this is a business district, of course, that it's been around for a number of years. I had the opportunity to serve as the Lincoln Heights President Chamber of Commerce, or the president of the Lincoln Heights Chamber of Commerce. And through the years that I served as president, I had the opportunity to listen to business folks about the pros and cons about this business district. And just wanted to let Ms. Hernandez know and Mr. De Leon, if they would please consider some of the business members that are not happy and haven't been happy with this service, and they're not getting their money's worth because of the tax that they pay. So in the future, we can ask them to please reconsider. As for example, today I had some business folks here with me. One is definitely against, one is in between. And my apologies, because I meant to ask for a public comment to ask for an extra minute.
1 minute for general public comment.
Yeah. So, Mr. De Leon, Ms. Hernandez, if you're going to vote for this business district here in the future to continue, please listen to the business owners that are actually have been unhappy with a non-service according to them, and anecdotally at this point in time, because it's been a number of years since I served as president for the Lincoln Heights Chamber of Commerce. So just on that note, I just wanted to please ask both of you to reconsider that. In addition, general comment, I'm also here to support Wall La Memorias in terms of their petition to the council persons here today that are going to be voting on this. And of course, Ms. Hernandez, if you could also reconsider that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'm going to call a few more names. Zurisade Areola, Stevie Barron, Rolando Cruz, Milad Hanna, and Mickey Jackson, please. And Stacy Cigar Bollinger.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Absolutely. This is General Comment and Rolando Cruz. I am a member of the Boyle Heights Bridge Runners. We are a local community-run group that brings health and wellness to the Boyle Heights community. We see the value in creating a safe and welcoming space on the east side. And we are here to show our support and solidarity for Las Walls and Las Memorias for their tireless work. We know the impact that health has, specifically on the east side, ensuring that Los Angeles is healthy and well. We know that Las Walls does the same to bring inclusiveness and empowerment and health to all of Los Angeles. So we would love to implore that you continue to support an organization that is deeply rooted in the health of Los Angeles and continuing to do meaningful and powerful work. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, my name is Stevie Barron, and I'll be talking on 50.
Okay, so item 50, you have 1 minute, and that item has been continued to August.
Good morning, and thank you for hearing all of us out today. I work at the WAL Las Memorias, and I originally started as a community organizer. I've worked specifically with the youth in the programming over at the WAL. Our programming is about substance use prevention, mental health awareness, and creating a functional place for these people to be able to strive. A lot of the youth we work with are LGBTQ and Latino. We have put together a lot of virtual summits during the pandemic to give them a space to come together and create awareness. We've been able to hold in-person events at our location in Boyle Heights, and it is important to continue this funding to be able to cater to the needs of our community and to the youth. And I hope that you will vote no on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hello, I'll be speaking on general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute. Could you please remind us of the name that you signed up under?
Surisada Arriola. Again, my name is Surisada Arriola. I'm a resident of Los Angeles, and today I'm here representing CLU, Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice. CLU organizes interfaith leaders to build the beloved community in which the dignity of low-wage workers and marginalized community members is respected. CLU is a part of the Tourism Workers Rising Coalition because we believe that this living wage ordinance will help fight systemic poverty that hinders our community from really experiencing a dignified life as children of God. When the council gets back from its recess, we hope that you will have your report ready so that you can start working on passing this ordinance. I urge you to uplift the voices of the workers in order to pass this ordinance so that it can become a reality, because not only the workers, but also their children and their loved ones are relying on y'all to act. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good day, Mickey Jackson with AHF.
Good morning.
And which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak general public comment and other items on the agenda.
So the
The
items
others.
that are open for public comment are 1 through 4,
Okay.
40 through 56, and 58 through 67.
All right.
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Okay, thank you. You know, I've heard other people here talk about themes, and a theme I am concerned about and have been is process, due process, and the process of this council. In a conversation about Morris's house, Morris Kite's very historic house, to remind you, it is on the national, it is recognized as a national monument and a state monument.
So, Speaker, I'm not sure which item you're speaking on.
Oh, okay, I said I'd speak on all other items and general public comment.
Yes, so would you like to move to general public comment?
Yes,
or would
that's
you
what
like to
I'm-
identify the items you'd like to speak
Okay, I'm speaking in generally.
Okay.
And I've lost a lot of time, but okay. And process keeps coming up. And when I spoke with CD1's office about Morris Kite's house, and I had to explain to them what our process is of making a monument, because I kept getting just plain incorrect information. And finally, I was told, we're new, and whatever the process, we want to do this our way. We're new. We want to do this our way.
I don't think that's exactly how you can do things at City Council. And I think that's a continuing problem. This house was vetted by everyone, and one council district wants to take it away from people all over the world who have been deeply, deeply affected by the work that went on in this house. We get one chance. One chance.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. And as Ms. Cigar Bollinger's coming up, I'm going to call out a few more names. Jorge Diaz, Jovan Houston, Mary Cellini, Mike McMahon, Milad Hanna, Ronald Ack, and Ronald Anderson, please.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak on items 1, 44, 46, 49, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items because you used 1 minute for item 57 at the top of the meeting. So 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
That's kind of sneaky, but I guess I have no choice but to accept it. Number 1, that sounds like a lot of words for gentrification. Number 44. $400 to light up City Hall for disability awareness. Are we aware that disabilities exist? Yeah. Does lighting up City Hall help? No. What would help accessibility in people with disabilities and mobility issues? Having ASL and deaf interpreters at City Hall, having subtitles on the screens so people who are hearing impaired can better engage with what's going on. Having it so people don't have to make advanced arrangements for translators. No matter what language you speak, when you come here, we pay enough money in tax dollars to have swap out one of these officers for a translator. They shouldn't have to in advance let you know, I speak this language, I'm gonna need help. They should be able to show up just like the rest of us. Someone with mobility
Speaker,
issues.
Could you please identify which item you're speaking?
44, Disability Awareness Month, $400 to light up City Hall. Thank you, reclaiming my time. Thanks for wasting like 10 seconds. 500 years to fix sidewalks. That's an accessibility nightmare. Nithya Raman's office has no problem with the data that says it'll take 500 years to have accessible sidewalks. We could start with accessibility here. We don't need to spend money on lights. We need to spend money on resources. 46 is for quote-unquote beautification services, and CD4, $38,000. It's not specific as to what those are. We could fix some sidewalks. We could make sure that we don't have illegal billboards like the one on Van Nuys and Ventura at the old Hamburger Hamlet, but it doesn't specify, and that's $38,000 to go who knows where. And 49 is parking funding, which I don't even have time to get into that. But so I guess I'll just move on to general public comment. Kevin De Leon, we're still waiting on your resignation. Nithya Raman said you wouldn't conduct business with a racist Paul Krikorian. His refusal to resign is causing actual ongoing harm. It's time. Force him to resign. There's no realistic possibility you can effectively continue to serve. Oh no, there's no realistic possibility you can legislate as a member of this body. I must clearly reiterate the most important step that you can take. Stop working with Kevin. Get a resignation. I see your eye roll, Paul, but you said these things. Shout out to Colleen Bollinger. Get some help.
Next speaker.
Good morning. Item number 1.
Before you begin, Mr. Spindler, there will be no shouting out or you'll be removed from this meeting. Do not disturb the public when they're trying to speak. There will be no shouting out. Sir, go right ahead.
I'm sorry, could you please repeat your name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on?
Good morning. My name is Milad Hanna. Item number 1, Agenda 230461.
Okay, you have 1 minute for the item.
For Lincoln Heights Business Improvement District, it called a bit. On North Broadway, I own a property and I lease another property. And regarding this bid, doesn't work for Lincoln Heights at all. It costs me almost $2,000 tax a month for both location, and doesn't help me at all. If I have any graffiti, I have to clean it myself. They don't do anything. Only it benefit the people sitting in the office. North Broadway is a lot of offices, a lot of businesses out because of this reason. So I would like to see if you could vote no for this bid for Lincoln Heights. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Jorge Diaz, and motion 50, public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item that has been continued to August and 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Jorge Diaz, a Los Angeles resident of District 1 and an Angelino living with HIV. The number of reported Los Angeles County HIV cases this rolling year, which is March 2022 through February 2023, is 1,865 cases, which is a 15% increase from the last rolling year. The majority of reported Los Angeles County HIV cases are among men. We make up 83% of HIV cases this rolling year. The majority of reported Los Angeles County HIV cases are amongst folks between the ages of 18 to 39. When you go to Councilwoman Hernandez's website, it reads, Eunice's for the people. My question is she for all people? As you continue to navigate her website, there in big bold blue letters, it reads, leave nobody behind. She describes
General
herself
public comment?
as a proven transformational leader, ready to reimagine Los Angeles. I would like for us to imagine a Los Angeles without HIV testing, substance use and mental health programming, and spaces for queer brown individuals to come together and celebrate and empower one another. I would like for Councilwoman Hernandez to imagine in 5 years from now, more fentanyl overdoses among queer brown folks, more HIV infections among queer brown men, and more lives impacted by the rise of crystal meth here in Los Angeles. Motion 50 is a poor decision, a blow not just to the Walas Memorias, but to our brown LGBTQ community in her district and all of Los Angeles County. Los Angeles is considered a sanctuary city, and Motion 50 is a blow to the Walas Memorias, a sanctuary place for brown people. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Javon Houston, general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Good morning, council members. My name is Javon Houston. I'm a member at SCIU USWW. I want to thank the council members for voting on moving the living wage forward. We're looking forward to your return after your recess to vote on this living wage ordinance. Our workers here and members here need this living wage. 74 cents is not enough. It's not enough for our growing cost of living. My rent personally went up $100. It goes up $100 every year. 74 cents is not enough, please.
Thank you. As the next speaker is coming up, I see Mr. Kwan. Mr. Kwan, I did call your name, so if you want to speak again, come on over. And Spindler and Herman. Good morning.
Very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen.
If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, sir. My name is Ronald A. Anderson, and I'm speaking, if I can speak for, I guess it was item number 33 of last Wednesday for the vendors. And then I have also another one that has to do with state and country.
Okay, so that sounds like general public comment, so you have 1 minute.
Very well. Okay, so there was some concern that no one wanted to pay the tax for vendings. I believe a tax should be paid, And the reason for that is because inspections need to be made on these vendors. There's a lot of people that have been getting sick and whatever and whatnot. And so a tax is needed to have inspectors to go out and check these sites as well as the site itself, but where the food is being manufactured. Also, by having a no free tax would also have problems with homeless people who are trying to be chefs and making food and putting perhaps maybe in different things inside the food which would not be it's not good. And they might have cuts in their hands which can cause issues. I have another one that concerns...
Thank you, Speaker. Your time has expired.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, sir, your time has expired. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Speaker. Which items would you like to speak on?
I signed up on all motherfucking items in my non-agenda fucking public comments, sir.
Okay, so the items that are open for public comment are 1 through 4, 40 through 56, and 58 through 67.
Yeah.
So you have 2 minutes for the items because
So-
you had 1 minute at the top of the meeting for item 57
Right,
and
right.
1 minute for general public comment.
Right. So 66 CD9, where is that goddamn nigger Price? He should be in here for this special item, consideration of the illegal fireworks. The motherfuckers don't got homes. People are still waiting to get into their goddamn South Central home. People with signs want to get fair rent to live in their fucking homes. And the goddamn housing and services have displaced people for how many motherfucking months to years? That's why dumb niggers like you, Mr. Dawson, should grow some hair. And then on 65, El Grito. Yeah, El Grito on September 15 reminds City Hall the illumination is for faggots and queers to understand you can smoke a dick and get high. Then I go into item, you got so many motherfucking items at the end of this course here. Oh, 60, yeah. Look at Market Nutrition Program Administration by California's fucking Department of Food and Agriculture. Well, in the past, dumb niggers like Harry Dawson, dumb food was giving out food with outdated fucking pricing shit. Well, I don't eat outdated nigga food. I like my watermelon and my melon, like your head, Dawson.
Get on the agenda.
So get that shit right. And then, because I have to stay on topic, regarding the disability shit. Yeah, disability bullshit. But look at number 57. I can't even speak on it again. That's fucked up. But regarding disabled people, the city of Los Angeles hasn't gotten a goddamn thing right. You dumb motherfuckers need to organize yourselves, build our fucking streets and sidewalks. Now for
General
my
public comment.
non-general public comment. To all the white nigger attorneys in the city of Los Angeles, your former dickhead, Thomas Peter, and not this Peter, bitch, talking about former Peter Dick of Fable, has been indicted. Now we got Mr. Fable in a bar investigation for being a dickhead. A white dickhead attorney, along with that fucking Chinese guy. For all I know, he's a fucking sabotage asshole from China. I don't know, but I can conclude that. However, today's hypocrisy deals with this shit. That why Harris Dawson don't got no motherfucking hair. That's my opinion, dumb nigger, Sambos. And you should go back to Ridley Thomas' case, nigga. Because that dumb nigga hasn't learned nothing like you. And 42 U.S.C. 1983 politely, fuck you!
Next speaker. Good morning, Speaker. Which items would you like to speak on?
Yes. Thank you, criminal. I would like to speak on all the criminal items and general criminal public comment.
So the items that are open for
Yes.
public comment are 1 through 4, 40 through 56, and 58 through 67. So you have 3 minutes for the items
Yes.
and 1 minute for
And
general
Kevin,
public comment.
once again, they're putting you on the wrong side. Do not join Eunices Hernandez in her evil on item number 1. Do not tax the people of Lincoln Heights until Eunices cleans up her district. Look, she walked the fuck out. Let's give her a hand. Good. That's the way all of you should be, except for Kevin and except for Tracy and Imelda. The rest of you, walk the fuck out. Leave. Walk the plank. So no on number fucking 1. Number 2, no, Kevin, on number 2. No taxation until you get put back on all committees and have full access to the money they stole from you, that pink-skinned Armenian dictator nigger up there. And then number 3, no more alcohol. You continued it, and you thought about it. Yes, I had a drink about it, and I thought about it, and alcohol makes me sick. It makes me barf. And also, when I drink enough, I think about slapping bitches. No alcohol, no drunk driving, no women being slapped around, no kids growing up and needing Narcan. See how that works? And you can stop it, Kevin. Stop it now until you're put back on committees. You will not approve another liquor license until you get put back on committees. And it's all Paul Martin Krikorian's fault. And then number 4, the lien. Kevin, file and receive it for $6,000. Kevin De Leon does not penalize his people. He helps people. And he's going to prove it today, unlike the ones that walk out. And thank you, Staffer B, for turning your back. Since you did that, I will talk about your filthy fucking district. And you're doing weed abatement. Your district looks like a pile of monkey shit. Everywhere I park and drive, homeless, trash, homeless, trash, homeless, vacant businesses. I demand that we bring back your father, Greg Smith, as immediate caretaker to the 12th District. Yes, and of course I can't talk about number 57 because the petty pink-skinned dictator took it out of order. But we will also say aging and disability. We're not getting any younger. Yes, look at poor Marquise. He's lost all the remainder of his hair. And look at Tracy, and look over there at Price. Where is Mr. Price? Mr. Price, where the fuck are you? You have an item here. Kevin, will you call up Mr. Price and tell him to get his dumb ass down here? He's missing my general
Public
comment.
comment.
And now we will see the musical chairs. Tracy and Kevin, the two that will not go to prison. Heather Hunt, the illegal caretaker, not fucking here. Doesn't give a fuck. Imelda Marcos Padilla, the first Filipina elected to the city council. Let's give her a hand. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Yes, that's right. You didn't know that, did you? Yes. And I'm sure she'll have many, many pairs of new shoes with that $275,000 fucking salary. And let us not forget Nuri Soto Martinez. Let's give him a hand. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. So how fortunate, Kevin. Hopefully Imelda will keep her promise, voting a motion to put you back on committees. And remember, pink-skinned dictator asshole and your attorney, Kevin is a crime victim, not the fucking fortuitous treason.
Next speaker.
Next speaker, and as that speaker is coming up, I just want to call Milad Hanna one more time. I'm not sure if that speaker has already spoken or not, but Milad Hanna. Mr. Kwan, good morning.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
Just general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Just wanted to note that our member from the 8th District and our council president both have open appointments they can make to the Ethics Commission. We currently just have 2 people on the Ethics Commission because of a bunch of vacancies. And in order for them to be able to do their work and meet in August, it'd be great to see those come in. The controller has appointed somebody exceptionally qualified and well-tailored for this moment. So I hope that appointment goes through, and I hope you do better if you can. I'm not sure if you'll be able to, but I also just wanted to end on one note for our new council member, and this is just something I see with a lot of you, is after a few years you become convinced that I'm working really hard and I've done a lot of good things, and that's enough, and you look at yourselves in the mirror with some comfort, and it's really not enough. And I think after you've been on the campaign trail, you hear how pissed off voters are, and you need to really look at the systemic problems that are holding us up.
Thank you. Next speaker, please. And this will be the final speaker here in the chambers.
Good morning, Speaker. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Good morning, Mike McMahon, Roll Call for Freedom, general public comment.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Quote, we need to make clear that no one ever feels excluded or belittled or demeaned or disrespected or left behind by the people that they elected to represent them, end quote. I agree, Mr. Krikorian. After all, those were your words after being selected council president in October 2 years ago. You said you would restore trust in City Hall. I ask you, how is that going? Mr. Krikorian, today you, along with 3 other council members, the CAO and Karen Bass, will meet with the Police Negotiations Unit for an update on the proposed contract for the city's police force going forward. It's been 687 days since the scandal-marred City Council announced that the COVID vaccine mandate, thereby demanding coercive obedience, denying employee due process, and infringing upon the individual's right to privacy under Article 1, Section 1 of the California State Constitution. The belittled, the demeaned, the disrespected, and left behind employees of the City of Los Angeles demand that the Executive Employee Relations Committee and this City Council immediately rescind 187-134.
Thank you.
Thank you. That will conclude public comment here in the council chambers. We'll go next to the phones. And so, Mr. City Attorney, we're going to, if you can walk us through
Yes. So
what
we've
we're doing on
exhausted-
items 1 and 2 on the phones.
Yes, so we've exhausted all of the public comment in the chamber. For the remote comment, we should proceed as normal. When we're effectively done, I'm going to ask that the staff lower everybody's hands at a certain point. And anybody who has not had an opportunity to speak on items 1 or 2 only, which concern the establishment of the Greater Lincoln Heights Business Improvement District and the establishment of the historic core Business Improvement District, will be instructed to re-raise their hands, and we'll take their comments. Those will be the only items that we would consider when we hit that part of the remote testimony, Mr. President.
And then once those speakers are done, then we'll come back to the others. But
Well,
take- All right. With that, first caller, please.
First caller, which items would you like to speak on?
My name is Russell Bates. I'm calling about item number 67.
You have a minute. Please go ahead.
10 months ago in that chamber, one council member after another spoke about the crisis of traffic violence in our city and the importance of making Los Angeles streets safer for bicyclists. Then those same council members voted against implementing the Healthy Streets Initiative that would have required exactly the changes that they claimed to support. 10 months later, have we learned anything? The city's own Mobility Plan 2035 specifically calls for a bike lane on Highland Avenue, and yet the city has now intentionally excluded it in this proposal. I know my own council member, Soto Martinez, supports the inclusion of a bike lane in the plan for Highland Avenue, and I urge the rest of the council to follow up on your own promises to care about reducing traffic violence. Stop ignoring the city's own mobility plan. Approve the amendment to make this application include bike lanes. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
General public comment. You have a minute. Please go ahead, sir.
Ms. Padilla, welcome to District 6 again. Congratulations on your appointment. Again, open hearts and open arms. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Good afternoon. This is Brock Landers, private investigator. How are you guys doing today?
Fine. Which items did you want to speak on?
42, 67, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Thank you. So I'm 42, and I mean, this goes for really any of the items that have to do with third-party vendors or companies that are doing work for the city that's really inadequate or subpar. Why don't we stop paying them to do this work? That if, you know, everybody says that there's the huge homeless crisis that you guys are all worried about, but yet there's all these companies that are coming in and really just fleecing the city and not delivering anything substantial for any of these communities. I think we should at least save the money of not paying them if they're not going to do the work. On 67, you know, I think bike lanes are important. That as I talked about a few weeks ago, that more people have been killed on bikes than have been shot by police in the last 5-6 years. And I think that if the amount of attention that police violence gets, I think you need to put at least the same amount of attention on bad drivers and people not paying attention to people on bicycles. Maybe once a year we should make everybody go ride a bike on a public street and see how safe they feel. For my general public comment, I would like to address what Dr. Truthbay was talking about earlier with the interns in their miniskirts. I think she brings up an interesting point, and I hope that she's still in the chambers to hear this or someone can relay it to her. But I do find it interesting that the 2 times I was disconnected from my comments without a warning was when I hit on the girl in the blue dress and the white polka dots. There are a lot of people that have said disgusting and absolutely abhorrent things that I think, as bad as the chamber can be sometimes, that I don't think it really reflects how everybody feels, and you guys let them continue. But I was disconnected from trying to talk to an intern. I wonder if your wife will put it together as to why you got so upset when I hit on the intern and not when people use the N-word. Her name doesn't happen to be Monica, does it? Everybody go to Smoke and Scan tonight. Maybe we'll get a chase. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next speaker.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Go ahead, caller.
I would like to speak on item 67 in general public comment.
You have a minute for each. Please begin.
Thank you. I'm a constituent who lives in CD4, which the project area reaches at Highland and Franklin. Highland continues north into CD4. Furthermore, I frequently ride transit and bikes through the project area. I'm appalled that the Bureau of Engineering and LADOT are proposing a multi-million-dollar project under the guise of complete streets, but includes neither the bike lane in the city's own mobility plan nor a bus lane. Congestion on Highland is so bad that LA Metro had to abandon regular bus service on Highland. The council should insist this project implement not only the bike lanes that the mobility plan calls for on Highland, but also a bus lane that could be used for Hollywood Bowl events and other times when congestion is severe. I thank Councilmember Soto Martinez for his amendment on this. Finally, I yield the balance of my time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, next speaker.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Hello, I want to speak on item 67.
Very good. Please begin. You have a minute.
Great. My name is Gabriel Edwards. I live in District 5. Hello to Councilmember Yaroslavsky, who I know cares about multimodal transportation. I travel on Highland frequently, particularly between Wilshire and Sunset. In theory, it should have a bike lane, according to the Mobility Plan 2035, all the way from the 101 to Pico, but currently has none. Yet the Bureau of Engineering and LADOT are asking for permission to submit a grant application for a multi-million-dollar project on Highland between Franklin and Santa Monica Boulevard that does not include a bike lane. The city must stop ignoring its own mobility plan, calling it Advocate for Complete Street in practice as well as theory that serves all users. Without a bike or bus lane, it is not complete. City Council should insist that this project implement the bike lanes that the mobility plan calls for on Highland. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on? Caller with the last four digits 6603, please press *6 to unmute.
Hello?
Hi, which items would you like to speak on?
66 in general, please.
Okay, you have a minute for each. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so 66 about LAPD and ATF bombing Council District 9. LAPD has 159 unsolved homicides left over from last year, 2022, as of a CPRA request that was done in January. So that means that there's 159 homicides they haven't solved, and they also haven't made it right with the victims of the bombings. There was a murder a day last year, and LAPD solved 3 out of 5 of them. And yet they're running around exploding things and writing thousands of tickets and hundreds of arrests for things like public napping. When there's 159 murderers that haven't even been identified or questioned.
You can go to general if you wish.
Thank you. Last year, 1 out of 4 homicides had an unhoused victim. 1 out of 3 unsolved homicides had an unhoused victim. There's more than 50 unsolved homicides with unhoused victims. Only 38 homicides with unhoused victims were solved. And as we learned with Banco Brown and Jordan Neely's murders in New York and San Francisco, solved homicides don't even mean that the murderer was arrested or charged, just that they were identified. So LAPD actually shot 37 people last year. 15 of them were considered mentally ill, and 10 of them were unhoused. So we've got 38 solved homicides with unhoused victims, but they shot 37 people. They're doing more harm than good, and they're not solving homicides.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next caller, please.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Hi, my name is Kirsten Stanley. I'm a resident of CD4. I'm calling in regards to item 67.
Okay, please go ahead.
I would also like to support bike lanes for Highland Avenue. Although I live in the valley now, and I would like to see a lot more protected bike lanes here as well. I used to live over by Highland. I commuted down that road very often. It's really unsafe. It's really loud. A lot of people travel through it. It would definitely be improved with more bike lanes and more protected bus lanes as well, or bus-only lanes, which I know are being studied on La Brea at the moment. I would really like La Brea to get protected bike and bus lanes all the way south to the Expo line. Yeah, if you're going to apply for funding and if you're going to be building more housing along dense arterial roads, you definitely need to create better alternative mobility options for everyone. we can't just continue to pile more and more cars onto our streets. It makes it really unsafe for pedestrians, bicyclists, and people taking transit, and even drivers. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Andrew Rudick for general comment, please.
Sure, you have a minute. Please go ahead.
I sent off a valid written submission for a name on the Walk of Fame as outlined under the active Council File 78-3949. I sent that submission 2 weeks ago to multiple city officials where under that council file, quote, departments or city officials receiving such requests shall forward them to the city council or referral to the Public Works Committee. Like the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce had a legally installed Walk of Fame stars without council approval and didn't provide semi-annually to the Public Works Committee the lists of submitted names sent directly to them as required. It seems like this council's purposefully ignoring my submission. With that said, enjoy your recess. I really hope that I don't have to revisit pro se pleading papers to make the city do something it already should be doing. I really don't like calling in, despite what you may think. It's really demoralizing that 910 days have passed after an attempted coup and we're still honoring the coup's leader on our sidewalk. That has to change. So enjoy your recess, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. So I would like to announce that the Executive Employee Relations Committee which had been agendized for noon, will instead be rescheduled to begin at 12:30. And with that, let's go ahead and go next to those callers who wish to speak on items 1 and 2. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes. So what we're going to do for members of the public who are still waiting on the phone, we're going to lower everybody's hands who had raised their hand to request to speak. And we're going to take public comment at this point on items number 1 and 2 only. So just to be clear, those are regarding the establishment of the Greater Lincoln Heights bid, that is the Business Improvement District, and the establishment of the Historic Core bid. So if you want to speak on either or both of those items, please re-raise your hand, or raise it to begin with, by pressing *9 right now. So again, if you want to speak on items 1 or 2 only, regarding the establishment of the Greater Lincoln Heights bid or the establishment of the Historic Core bid, the Business Improvement District, please press *9 right now. Do we have people who want to speak on those? Okay, so please let the first caller through.
First caller, which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak on all the items.
Okay, no.
Kevin
Yeah, so Mr. Spindler,
No, cut him off. Cut him off. Mr. Spindler already spoke. Let's go to
So-
the next caller, please.
Next.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Thank you. It's Eric Previn, and I'm
Okay, so Mr.
interested in
Previn,
the
do
bid.
you want to speak on item 1, item 2, or both?
Well, and if I wanted to speak on other items, I'm just fresh out of
No,
luck.
not right now.
You won't
You're out
call
of
me?
luck. So do you want to speak on
Okay,
the
well, maybe you'll
establish-
call me next. Yeah, I'd like to speak on the historic bid and then the other bid as well.
Okay, so you can speak on both of
There's
the
two
bids. Items 1 and 2, you have 2 minutes. Please begin.
Right. Let's enjoy this because it's very important that these bids get the recognition that they deserve. As you recall, the bids raise money through assessments, and the thing that you have to look at is how much of the assessments are for city property, because sometimes the city assesses itself, or the bid assesses the city, and that's a very interesting number. It's very interesting to see how they vote. Excuse me. And that's part 1. Part 2 is right in the neighborhood. And by the way, please check on item 3 because you've got a misapplication of one name.
Let's
You've got
stick
a
on
Quickie
1 and 2,
liquor
Mr.
store
Previn.
in CD11. You've got a Quickie liquor store labeled wrong. And I just want to make sure that you correct that. Do you know about that?
Mr.
It
Previn,
looks
let's
like
just
something
stick
in
with items 1 and 2
CD14.
right now, or I'm going to cut you off.
Don't cut me off, sir, because the historic bid requires a historic approach. This is one of the bids that is in De Leon's district, and De Leon is one of the council members who's been doing a lot with his community in a way that many of the other council members have not. Now, I admit that Yaroslavsky has been, she is a multimodal transportation enthusiast. I will give you that. So we have that, and we have that obviously De Leon has been charged with a lot of stuff, but somebody mentioned, I want to just be clear about the historic bid, that if there's any real truth to the suggestion that he's been dropped from committees, that is really actionable, because I don't understand that at this point. I mean, he's a bigot or you don't like him or whatever, but that's just outrageous if that's true. I don't know if it's true, so let's move forward. The historic bid has got so many great pieces of the history embedded in that place. The one that I thought was so beautiful about the historic bid was the $11.4 million Project Roomkeep topper for damages,
So,
which is an
Mr.
outrage
Previn,
beyond belief.
You have 8 more seconds.
What's that?
You want to get back on topic?
Yeah, I'm right on topic. What do you mean? I'm making it clear that in the historic bid we like to know where our Project Roomkey is going, not in an oral amendment.
Thank you. All right.
By
So
speaking-
next person who's raised their hand to speak on item 1 or 2 only.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on? Caller with the private number, please press *6 to unmute.
Okay, press *6 right now, speaker. You there? Okay, let's move on to the next speaker.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Speaker, are you there?
I'll speak on.
Speaker,
Excuse me?
Are you there, speaker? Do you want to speak on items 1 or 2?
Yes, that's why I call items 1 and 2, please. And I guess there's no general comment on that either, right?
Right. Please to speak on the bid items 1 and 2. So please begin. You have 2 minutes.
All right, thank you. These are, number 1 is a hearing protest for establishment of the Greater Lincoln Heights Business Improvement District. Kevin Leon, that's his real name, who belongs right there with the rest of you, the criminals of the LA Sleazy Council. This item should not be voted on by Kevin Leon, nor Heather Hutt, who was not elected like Miss Padilla, because corrupt, petty pink-faced Armenian dictator decides the black community doesn't need an elected official. So she should not be able to vote on this item. This item, along with all the others, should state that, yes, like number 40 and 41, it's a state of emergency inside this item. All the items and all the funding for this item should be designated as emergency, because the LA City Council is increasing homelessness, the last count at 10% increase, showing the incompetence and the corruption of not only item number 1, but item number 2, which Heather Hutt should not be voting on either, because she was selected by petty pink-faced corrupt Armenian dictator instead of being elected like Miss Padilla. Just like they inserted Herb Wesson had to be thrown out by the courts. Item number 2, she should not be voting on. Kevin Leon should not be voting. He should be ejected from this corrupt, incompetent, sleazy council that has increased homelessness by 10%. Minimum 10%.
Thank you.
Corruption.
Thank you.
Corruption.
Okay, do we have more people on the queue? All right.
Yes, 2 more.
Please go ahead.
Next caller, which item would you like to speak on?
Speaker? You
Yes,
there?
1 and 2, please.
Okay, you have 1 minute for number 1 and 1 minute for number 2. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I had to sneak in the back door. But yeah, these historical bids are huge and very important. Yes, they have to have assessment, but there also has to be a foundation of basic funds that come from the council office. And in Van Nuys, we had one for many, many years, and I asked Ms. Padilla. She said she would look at that, and I hope that she will. And you know what? I'm going to say right now that Mr. De Leon, you know what? You're a fighter, and I feel that you should be part of this vote because you didn't give up. You know, you've taken it. You've taken it all. And the 3 people that who criticize you the most have caused more violence and more anger and more hate than anybody else. But these bids are important to turn communities around. And Ms. Padilla, I hope you will bring the bid back to Van Nuys, and that you'll follow your heart and you'll look at your mother every time one of these corrupt individuals tries to get you to do something. Because as Ms. Rodriguez said, you're from the Northeast, girl, and the Northeast is a tough area to do business with, especially with the two former city councilmen. So Ms. Padilla, let's bring the bid back to Van Nuys and let's approve item 1 and 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Caller, which item would you like to speak on?
Okay, so that's Mr. Spindler again, so we can cut him off. And I see him calling from the room. So do we have any other people with raised hands?
No more callers in the
Mr.
queue.
President, we've exhausted everybody who wants to speak on either of bid items 1 or 2.
Very good. So that will close public comment on those items. It will close public comment on all agenda items and close general public comment. So with that, we're ready to proceed to some votes. So, Madam Clerk, what is available for us to vote on at this point?
Those would be items 1 through 4, 13, 40 through 49, 52 through 56, 58 through 66. And before council takes the vote, just a few quick announcements. For items 1 and 2, the tabulation of ballots shall take place in room 223 of City Hall immediately following the close of the hearing and will be publicly live streamed. For directions to access the live stream, visit clerk.lacity.org/bids. Public announcement of the tabulation of the ballots is on Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, and the public hearing for items 1 and 2 is now closed. And also to clarify on item number 3, the recommendations 1 and 2 is for the Honest Bottle Company located at 4511-4513 North Eagle Rock Boulevard. And council may now take the votes, sir.
Very good. So those items are now before us. If there are no members wishing to be heard on any of those items, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
12 ayes.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, that will take us next to the items that were called special by Councilmember Hernandez for a separate vote. Which items are those?
Yes, sir. Those are items 5 through 7, 9, 14, 18, 23, 25, and 26, sir.
All right, those items are now before us. I see no members wishing to be heard. Let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
10 ayes, 2 noes.
All right, that will take us next to item number 15, called special by Councilmember Rahman and Hernandez. Do any members wish to be heard on item 15? Seeing none, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
10 ayes, 2 noes.
That will take us next to item number 30, which was held on the desk by me for purposes of the amendment, which has already been read in and circulated. So on that item as amended, if there's no members wishing to be heard, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
12 ayes.
All right, that takes us next to item 51, which was also amended by a motion by Councilmember Lee. If there's no members wishing to be heard on this item, let's go ahead and open the roll on the item as amended, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
12 ayes.
Thank you. That will take us next to item number 67. There was a motion introduced by Councilmember Soto Martinez and Park. Mr. Soto Martinez.
Thank you, Council President. Sorry, can I don't know, with motion to reconsider my vote on item 15? I'd like to have the record vote no on that, please.
Do we need to reconsider it, or? Okay, so there will need to be a motion to reconsider on that item. On item 15?
Yes, please.
Okay, so on the motion to reconsider, which I will second, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
You want to reconsider.
Oh,
You want to reconsider. It's fine, it's fine.
Sorry. Rookie
I
mistake.
mean, you could choose to do that, it's fine.
No, that's fine. I did the same thing.
If you want to lock it in, you can do
No.
that. That's all right. So let's go ahead and start over on that. On the motion
It's the last
to
day.
reconsider item 15, let's open the roll,
Now you'll vote no. Now it's reconsidered.
close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
Oh, you do. Are we doing the reconsideration or the vote?
For the record, this vote is to reconsider.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna let's clear the roll again. Okay, members, on the motion to reconsider item 15, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
12 eyes.
Thank you. Item 15 is now the question before us, and I recognize Councilmember Soto Martinez. Do you wish to be heard, or just okay? So the item is now again before us. Item 15, the underlying matter. Let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
9 eyes, 3 noes.
All right. Thank you. That takes us back to item 67, which was amended by there was an amendment by Councilmember Soto Martinez, seconded by Councilmember Park, which has been read and circulated. That matter is before us. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Yes, thank you so much, Council President. I submitted an amendment. Thank you so much, Councilmember Park, for seconding that. I know we're receiving money. We're applying for a grant, and I just want to say I want to thank the departments for identifying that money to try to improve our roadway safety, uncompleted work on the Complete Streets program. However, as traffic violence continues to increase and the impact of climate change is made very clear, I think we need to be bold and prioritize the needs and safety of people walking, biking, and taking public transportation. And so this is what this motion does, is asking the Bureau of Engineering to think bigger in this grant application and identify opportunities to include bike infrastructure and bolder transit improvements. We know that this work is overdue and critical to addressing climate change and reducing the astonishing number of deaths caused by traffic violence. But I look forward to continuing this work and supporting our departments in implementing these projects. We need to continue making our communities a priority and try to find more safer options to get around. So I urge your aye vote on this amendment and also the underlying motion. Thank you.
All right. So item 67, as amended, is now before us. If there's no other members wishing to be heard, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
12 eyes.
Thank you. And then, Madam Clerk, I believe we need to go back to item 16.
Yes, that was called special as a separate vote by Councilmember Hernandez. That's the last item. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. So item 16 is now before us. If there's no member wishing to be heard, let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
10 eyes, 2 noes.
Very good. Madam Clerk, what is next before us?
Council has motions for posting and referral.
Without objection, posted and referred. Next.
The desk is clear, sir.
Very good. Thank you all very much. Are there announcements, members? Any announcements? Councilmember McOsker, what's going on in the 1-5 these days?
In the 1-5, we have stopped all work in the port today. We have stopped all work in the port today. Why? Today marks the 89th anniversary of the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, the ILWU, Bloody Thursday. So July 5th, 1934 is a day that forever changed labor practices for longshore workers on the West Coast, but also important in the labor movement across the country. Specifically, Bloody Thursday is the anniversary of the killings of longshore workers who were shot by police in San Francisco on Thursday, July 5th, 1934, during the Great West Coast Strike. The killings sparked a general strike in San Francisco and marked a general strike, so everyone joined in, and marked the turning point of the 1934 coast-wide labor struggle that eventually led to the formation of what we know today as the ILWU. Today, July 5th, every year, we remember the 6 workers who were killed along the West Coast during the strike, and while we also celebrate their sacrifice and we celebrate the victory of that strike ultimately, we remember all the martyrs, of course, but very particularly we remember Dickie Parker and John Knutson in the 1-5. They were killed in the LA harbor. They were local workers killed in the harbor as the first ones killed in that general strike. The 1934 West Coast waterfront strike, which is also known in history as the West Coast Longshore Strike, lasted 83 days. It began on May 9th, 1934, when longshoremen in every West Coast port walked out. But as I said before, the first blood, that we call it, occurred on May 15th in Wilmington, when Parker and Knutson were both shot. Parker was actually a recent graduate of San Pedro High School. He was a young kid, and Knutson was a senior member of the union, along with 5 other union members who were also shot by company-employed security to break up the strike just after midnight, May 15th, 1934. This was the first of several deadly confrontations on the docks that year between strikers and strike breakers that involved the employer's use of both armed private security and local police. Parker died on the way to the hospital, while Knutson held on for weeks before dying of his wounds. Public response to the killing of both men was overwhelming, with an estimated 8,000 people lined the streets from San Pedro all the way to Roosevelt Cemetery, which is in the Gateway, a parade that we just followed this morning. Those 8,000 people witnessed the procession that stretched 6 miles long. Law enforcement had said that there was going to be rioting that day. There was not. But because the event of the burial and the procession was peaceful, public support really increased for the union cause. It was a turning point in the Great Strike. Bloody Thursday also serves as a time to reflect on all of the sacrifices made by generations of longshore workers who have struggled and fought to improve wages and the conditions on the waterfront. When West Coast longshore workers struck, shutting down the docks along 2,000 miles of the coastline, including Seattle and Tacoma and Portland, San Francisco, San Pedro, and San Diego, the demands included a union-controlled hiring hall, which we have today, that would end all forms of discrimination and favoritism in hiring and to equalize work opportunities. They were fighting for a coast-wide contract, which we have today. The contract that we saw in the news is a successor to that coast-wide contract, with all workers on the Pacific Coast receiving the same basic wages and working under the same protected hours and conditions, and a 6-hour workday with a fair wage. Before the ILWU was established, working on the docks brought dock workers about 95 cents an hour and no benefits. There was no hiring hall, so men, and it was all men in the bad old days, had to compete to be picked by the bosses to work on any particular day with no seniority, no rights. Conditions were crude. Longshore work changed little from one generation to the next. Cargo, no matter what it was loaded and unloaded by hand by gangs of men who relied chiefly on physical strength, skill, and cooperation between one another. Whether it's a Thursday or today, a Wednesday, July 5th, it will always stand as an important date for us, a memory of the martyrs of working rights along the docks and the ultimately successful general strike. This morning we laid wreaths at the gravesites of Dickie Parker and John Knutson. And then this afternoon, we'll be in San Pedro at 22nd Street Park, where we will honor the fallen heroes with a picnic for all families, all pensioners, everyone's invited on down to 22nd Street to remember Bloody Thursday. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Councilmember McOsker, for reminding us of that history and for those extraordinary historic photos, too. Appreciate that reminder of a dark moment in the city's past. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Council President. In the 1-3, we're very excited to host the 42nd Annual Lotus Festival this month in Echo Park Lake. It'll take place Saturday, July 15th from 12 to 8 p.m. and Sunday, July 16th from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. The theme this year is celebrating the rich culture of Indonesia, and we're really looking forward to that as the lotus flowers reach their full bloom. I want to thank Councilmember Hernandez for her partnership on this event, and of course, Rec and Parks, the LA Parks Foundation, and the Lotus Festival for putting this amazing event together. We all hope to see you at Echo Park Lake in a few weeks. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you so much, Mr. Soto Martinez. The Lotus Festival is a fun one, and I think you neglected to challenge all the council offices to a dragon boat race. That is a long-standing tradition, and I think one that we should ensure that we resume going forward. Colleagues, I just wanted to share, last week, Saturday, we hosted the 3rd annual fireworks buyback. And I wanted to share that I'm grateful to the residents, many of whom were lined up in advance of our collection start at 9 a.m. We received 390 pounds of fireworks turned in exchange for various gift cards and, in that exchange, bringing our collective total over the course of the last 3 years to 3/4 of a ton of fireworks collected off our streets. Now, unfortunately, I wish I could say it meant a quieter last night. It did not. However, on Sunday, our drone show did. And I want to thank Councilmember Padilla and Councilmember Soto Martinez for joining me at our 2nd annual drone show light festival. It was magnificent. Well over, I believe the new numbers that we're getting is close to 8,000 attendees at Hansen Dam. And I'm really proud that and I want to thank my team because they did an outstanding job, but the community coming out, all the families, it was a beautiful celebration without the pyrotechnics, and it was a beautiful show for everyone to enjoy. And of course, Queen Nation was a huge hit. Folks were acting like Freddie Mercury was actually in the house, so it was a great night. But I want to invite everybody to come watch movie nights. Our first one will be hosted on July 21st, so before our recess is over, at the largest municipal pool in the country at Hansen Dam Aquatic Center. We will be screening Lilo and Stitch, to be followed by Finding Nemo. We like water-themed movies where you can be in the heat of the San Fernando Valley, but enjoy watching the movie either from the comfort of the largest municipal swimming pool or from our sandy beach. So come on out to CD7, and thankfully I only have a single digit, but come on out to CD7 and celebrate the summer with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember De Leon.
Mr. President, just one footnote I want to add, and congratulations to Ms. Rodriguez in the 07, but 07, who knows. But your drone show extravaganza actually came out in the New York Times. So folks who don't know, we had traditional fireworks, you had the cutting edge technology in the drone. So congratulations, because you came out, I don't know if it was, on the front page, but at least when you go online, it was right there in the video of your drone show, and we knew it was yours. So felicidades.
Thank you. Any other announcements, members? I would just like to announce, first of all, that on Saturday evening, this coming Saturday, we're going to be beginning the NoHo Summer Nights program that we've been hosting at North Hollywood Park for a number of years. And the first concert on Saturday night is going to be Element Band. So if you know Element Band, you know what an incredible world music band they are. We'll have 4 additional concerts over the course of the summer, as well as 5 movie screenings. So every Saturday night, the place to be is North Hollywood Park, right behind the Amelia Earhart Library. And if you want more information about any of the concerts or any of the series, you can go to valleycultural.org. And I'm very pleased that this year, because this is such a transit-friendly location, being just a few steps away from the North Hollywood Red Line station, Metro has recognized NoHo Summer Nights with a custom tap card. And members, you all have the tap card on your desk. Mr. De Leon, I'm sorry, you're going to have to load it with real money in order to use it, but it is a nice souvenir of a really extraordinary summer program that we have. With that, members, I would like to make one additional announcement, and it's a bittersweet announcement for me. I want to announce that, as you know from the resolution that will be approved by the council, we're recognizing the long, extraordinary career of public service of Erica Pulst, who is going to be retiring from city service. And I'd like Erica to come on up here. So Erica has over 35 years of dedicated service to this city, and she's taken on some of the biggest challenges we have in the course of our work. When I became budget chair, and throughout most of the time that I served as budget chair, she was clerk to our committee at a time when we faced some of the biggest challenges economically and budgetarily ever. And somehow Erica kept us on track and moving forward despite incredible, incredible challenges. She came here as a clerk to the council, and of course, as you all know, that's quite a challenge in itself. And she dealt with all of these things with grace and with professionalism, and really became the person that we all knew we could count on for her expertise, for her problem-solving skills, for her ability to keep the council and its committees moving forward in a sensible way, even in the biggest of headwinds and even with the biggest efforts of disruption. Erica was able to keep us moving forward. And so, Erica, I want to thank you very much. We don't have the resolution printed for you just yet, but in the meantime, I want to present you with this and thank you on behalf of the council and the entire city for your extraordinary career of service.
And I just want to say thank you very much. It has certainly been an interesting experience. Very interesting. That's correct. I've learned something every single day from you, from all the members, from your staff. You have incredible staff, everyone. And of course, to make these meetings happen for the City of Los Angeles to provide their input. But also at the CLA, the ITA, but most especially the city clerk team, who are incredible. Professional, they do their job with integrity and get the job done. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Erica. All right, are there motions to adjourn in memory? Councilmember Harris Dawson. If we could all please rise, please, for adjourning motions.
Thank you so much, Mr. President and members. I'll requesting that we do something unusual today. I'd like to submit 4 names for adjournment today. Mr. Keto Smith Jr., Louis Bettee, Mustafa Fletcher, and Quincy Mitchell. I am putting them together because it gives us occasion to shine a light on folks in our community who do incredible work and are necessary. They're part of the glue that holds our community together. These men are all intervention workers. Community intervention workers or gang intervention workers. They all died of natural causes or causes related to their health conditions. And I raised that and raised them together because unlike a lot of us and folks who are involved in city works, these folks don't have a union, they don't have a PAC that can put up independent expenditures. They don't have a real way of bringing their needs as workers before this council. And again, we know that health conditions and health disparities are great among the African American community, especially African American men. The last data I saw was that the life expectancy for African American men in LA County is 58 years. If you control for homicide, so you take away everybody who dies from homicide, it goes up to 59. So the health disparities are great, and all of these gentlemen over time accumulated health conditions that led to their loss. All of them worked in our community safety programs in different parts of the city. Keto Smith, known as Big Cato, worked out of Mount Carmel Park and was known by all the families there. First got involved in the feeding program, then became an interventionist and a leader in that community. Louis Batty worked for Advocates for Peace and Urban Unity. He was with them for 7 years and was a contractor with the Gang Reduction and Youth Development Program. Very well known in the Algin Sutton Park neighborhood. Mustafa Fletcher, very quiet guy, but very potent presence in almost every room he was in. He was an interventionist for 25 years and helped train a second and third generation of intervention workers. Quincy Mitchell put in 16 years as an intervention worker in the community. He worked at Soledad Enrichment Action and Advocates for Peace and Unity. He was a lead community intervention specialist as well as a coach for youth sports in a couple of our parks. And so all these men are important to us, and again, I placed them together just to shine a light on something that frankly is all too frequent. We see men in their 50s, late 40s, early 60s pass away due to natural causes. But these men in particular, the work that they do, you know, our friends at the Firefighters Union tell us about that shock that you get when you get the call in the middle of the night. Well, these guys get that call all the time. And when that call comes at 2 in the morning, they know they're getting out of bed and walking into trauma. They're walking to the site of a homicide, or they're walking to a hospital, or they're walking to meet with a family that has just lost someone to get in front of the spiral of violence that can come from it. And so I just wanted to, ask that we adjourn in their memory today and keep in mind the particular challenges that they face. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. Colleagues, I ask that we adjourn today in memory of Gabriel Richard Trujillo, a researcher, PhD candidate at UC Berkeley, and a member of the indigenous Danza Azteca community who was killed on June 19th in the mountains of Sonora, Mexico. Gabriel was a dedicated son, brother, fiance, researcher, and so much more. He had dedicated his recent years at UC Berkeley to researching the evolutionary origins of the buttonbush, to find out how the plant could be used for wetland habitat restoration. His trip to Sonora was just one of many trips that he had taken in service of finding out more about the buttonbush and how it can be used to better benefit our rapidly changing planet. While on this most recent trip to Sonora to further understand the buttonbush and to sample it, he was killed by gunshot. At Berkeley, he gained many friends and colleagues, both in the academic community and in the indigenous Danza Azteca community. He was a committed Azteca danzante and a mentor to many Berkeley undergraduate students. Aside from his academic work, he also lived a rich life serving his local community. He organized food donations and COVID-19 relief work for the indigenous Danza Azteca community and for people experiencing homelessness. He also participated in many indigenous ceremonies in California and throughout the Southwest. His indigeneity was part of the reason why he had gone to Sonora to reconnect with his Opata ancestral lands. As an indigenous person, he felt called to be a good steward of the land. He and his fiancée participated in ceremonies around missing or murdered indigenous persons, and then on his journey to reconnect to his ancestry and to help the planet, he became one. His fiancée and himself recently gotten rings, custom rings, and made a thoughtful effort to unite their backgrounds in a way that honors both of their heritages, while still advocating for their respective communities. This tragic incident is another example of a person taken far too soon by gun violence. His dedication to the work he was doing through research, mentoring, community service, and more has made an incredible impact on our communities. In addition to that, he is another unfortunate example of the Native peoples who go missing and are murdered at higher rates than any other group in the nation and in the nations around us. Gabriel loved to share with anyone who would listen about our sacred connection with all living things. We can continue to honor the life and memory of Gabriel Richard Trujillo by supporting his mission to protect our planet and protect those who are victims of violence. I ask that we adjourn this meeting in his memory as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other motions for adjournment? Very good. Seeing none, thank you, members. Enjoy the recess. This meeting is adjourned.